Hi, and welcome back to the next in my Excel VBA series. Now, today what we're going to have a look at is creating functions within Excel so that you can use a function on the Excel spreadsheet, or a user can use it. You haven't coded it in. So the first that we're going to do is one that actually works out what the VAT is, or what the including VAT value is for a number with no VAT. So let's create a function to do that. We need to go to an empty module in this workbook, and we start off by saying function, and then we give it a name. So we'll just call it inc VAT, and we also need to put in an argument here. So the argument is going to be the no VAT number. And all we do here is we type in inc VAT equals no VAT times 1.2, and that's all we need to do for our function. So come across here now, and I say equals in, and I get the option for including VAT here. Now I need to choose the argument. The argument is the cell to the left, and I can fill that down, and that gives me the values. Now the good thing about this is it does actually update automatically. If I change the numbers here, that will update automatically. However, if I go into the code and actually change this, so let's say for example I make that 2, when I come back here that hasn't updated. What I do need to do though is I need to go to my formulas ribbon and tell it to calculate now, and then it will actually automatically calculate. So let's go back, change that back into 1.2 and recalculate. You don't have to have the range selected, it will calculate the whole sheet when you tell it to calculate, but it doesn't matter if you've got that set to automatic, it still needs to be told to calculate the values. Okay, so now we're going to move on to looking at multi-argument functions, and what we're going to do here is we're going to say we've got a bunch of salespeople. This is the amount of their sales, and these are their expenses. Now, if their sales minus their expenses, in other words, the profit, is greater than 1,000, and depending upon which band they're in, that's how we calculate their commission. So we're going to create a multi-function or a multi-argument function here, and we're going to call it commission. So again, down here, start off by saying function and commission, and now this time I can put in the 3 different arguments. Now I'm going to type in the 3 different arguments as sales, expenses, and band. Okay, you'll notice how when I have separate subroutines or bits of code, it actually puts the horizontal bar across there. Now this function commission, I can start to say what the commission is, but I actually need to work out what the sales minus expenses, in other words the profit, is, and then I need to run an if statement. So before I start typing all that, let me first of all define something else, which is going to be profit. So this is another variable I'm using within this function. So profit equals sales minus expenses. And now I'm going to start my if. So I'm going to say if profit is greater than 1,000, then, and I'm going to have another if here. So if it's not greater than 1,000, it's going to skip over all of that. And if it is, then I'm going to start looking at band. Band equals A. Then, and my commission is going to be profit times 5%. Now, if I type in 5% there, as soon as I press enter, it ignores the percentage sign. So you do have to be careful when using percentages. You have to put it in as the decimal, or you have to put in brackets the 5 divided by 100. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to choose that and copy it, paste it a couple of times underneath, and I just need to change this if to an else if, and that one also as an else if. And down here I'm going to say end if, and then underneath another end if. So that's the end if for this first if, and that's the end if for this if. And clearly here I want to change these values, so that would be B, and that would be C, and I'll make this one 10%, and I may as well make this one 15%. Let's be generous. Okay, so there's my next function. It's got 3 different arguments, or 3 different parameters I can use. And now when I come to use this, I type in equals commission. My first one is sales, comma, my second one is expenses, comma, my third one is band. This guy doesn't get any commission, and the reason is because his sales minus expenses are less than 1,000. So that first if statement doesn't get anywhere. Some of these others do get commission. In fact, all of these others get commission, although this guy here doesn't get very much because he's only just over the 1,000, and he's on band A. This guy gets quite a lot because his sales are significantly higher than the expenses and also significantly higher than the 1,000. So there you have it. There's a user-defined function. That's one with multiple arguments. And here's a very simple one just with a single argument, which in this case is the cell to the left. I hope that's been useful. I hope it helps you create your own functions within worksheets or workbooks. And if you have any questions or stuck on anything, do just make a note in the comments down below. And once again, thank you for watching.